Kia ora Rotorua, I'm Steve Comber and this is City News. Ahead in tonight's bulletin, members of the Kaharoa Kokako Trust were recognised in Wellington. The weekend's Blues Fest was an outstanding success and Rotorua featured in the Queen's Birthday Honours List. Those stories and more tonight. Thanks for joining us. Years of dedication and hard work by members of the Kaharoa Kokako Trust were recognised in Wellington when they were presented with the Supreme Award at the Ministry for the Environment's Green Ribbon Awards. The trust was formed in 1997 by a group of concerned residents who wanted to save the few kokako that remained in the Kaharoa Conservation Area, about 30 kilometres northeast of Rotorua. They have focused their efforts throughout the years to become an important contributor to the national kokako recovery efforts. Blues fans moved from venue to venue following the sounds of local and overseas artists throughout Queen's Birthday weekend. Sally Garner from the Bay of Plenty Blues Club said the Rotorua Blues Fest event was an outstanding success with fantastic crowds and the Targa Street Party on Saturday night, an example of how major events can work together. And still with the Blues Fest news, Rotorua Lakes High School musos stole the show at the weekend's first guitar competition. Lakes High's head of music, Chris Pascoe, said 7 guitarists made the final cut at Rotorua's Novotel. They were Ben Weblin, Chris Everest, Julian Vale, Liam Jolly, Rawiri Thomas Hare, Todd Bowditch and Zarek Silberschmidt. It was Ben Weblin and Rawiri Thomas Hare who proved it to be the top 2 axemen in the playoffs. Well done. Police are urging social networkers to be careful after internet fraudsters stole a Rotorua woman's identity. Mihi Marikura said identity thieves created a new Bebo page in her name, copying personal details and more than 80 photos of her family, friends and children. The fake account listed her relationship status as down for whatever. Marikura said she couldn't understand why someone would want to steal her life. She had just closed her Bebo site and moved to Facebook. Rotorua's June Arini Grant has been made an officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit for services to Māori and their art. Ms Grant was among dozens of well-known and not so well-known Kiwis whose dedication to their communities was recognised in this year's Queen's Birthday Honours. The man butcher, Peter Leach, will receive a Queen's Service Medal for services to businesses and philanthropy. Meanwhile, Sandra Coney's work in the field of women's health earned her a Queen's Service Order. The lure of the Big OE is still putting a dent in domestic tourism. Tourism Minister researcher Bruce Bassett said new research showed attractively priced international holiday packages fueled a need in globally isolated New Zealanders to experience the world. Home-loving Kiwis boasted domestic tourism by almost $9 billion last year. Big bright city lights rated higher than nature's wonders. Rotorua and Taupo were fourth equal on the holiday hotspot list, Auckland taking first place, followed by Wellington and Christchurch. And in sports news tonight, Richard Mason paid the ultimate tribute to the late Stacey Hopper at the weekend. Despite atrocious weather, Mason steered Hopper's white Subaru Impreza WRX to victory in the Dunlop Targa Rotorua. Hopper, 27, died in the Northland plane crash on March 12th. Mason said Hopper's former co-driver and crew did him proud by working through the night after a radiator hose split during stage 4 and caused the engine to overheat. And weather-wise for Rotorua and surrounding areas tonight, cloudy with gusty southerly winds, cooling things off a tad, 3 degrees your low. Tomorrow Wednesday for the middle of the week, fine with southwesterlies easing, high 12 and a low of 3. And mainly fine with northerlies for Thursday, longer range, high of 12 and a low of 6. Add to your marine forecast, tomorrow Wednesday, southwest winds 15 knots, easing to 15 knots or 10 knots, in the evening. Low waves and mainly fine weather will continue. If you did miss any of tonight's bulletin, don't forget you can watch it again. Simply go to tvrotorua.co.nz, click on the View Latest 3 News link and the link below that for all the latest Rotorua events. Well, stay with us, Rotorua. After the break, we catch up again with Environment Bay of Plenty. Progress Nongataha invites you to their AGM, and we look at the first event in the Enduro mountain bike series. It's your news, Rotorua, City News, and we continue with more from your region next.